Station 41, Dedication of the Church. Earlier, I asked you to keep an eye out and count the sconces you could find around the cathedral. So, how many did you find? If you found them all, there are 12 in total. 3 along the left aisle, 3 along the right aisle, 2 in the left transept, 2 in the right transept, and 1 on each side of the sanctuary. Now, you might be wondering, why 12? And what's the significance of these sconces? These aren't just decorative. They serve as markers of the church's dedication when this church was consecrated. This brings us back to a short history of the cathedral. In 1935, the original chapel was dedicated to San Isidro, Labrador. Many years later, it was rededicated to the Immaculate Conception on December 8, 1949. And less than a year later, it was elevated into a parish. Then, on August 14, 2003, it was once again rededicated as a cathedral by Bishop Socrates Villegas, who was then the auxiliary bishop of Manila. The rite of rededication includes the anointing of the altar and walls with sacred chrism oil. After the bishop anoints the altar, he goes to 12 pre-selected pillars and traces the sign of the cross with oil. He consecrates these pillars as symbols of the 12 apostles, the foundational pillars of the church. This tradition goes all the way back to Christ's words at Caesarea Philippi, when he declared that Peter and the apostles would be the foundation of his church. St. Paul also understood it this way because he wrote that the church is built on the foundation of the apostles. That metaphor would have made perfect sense to the apostles. As first-century Jews, they knew the importance of foundations. The temple in Jerusalem, after all, stood upon solid bedrock on the Temple Mount, a firm and immovable base. Today, that same site is home to the Dome of the Rock, a Muslim shrine named for the exposed stone where the temple once stood. But Jesus wasn't building a temple of stone. He was building a living church, made up of living people, and that starts with the apostles. St. Peter himself understood this. He wrote, "You, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house." So the 12 sconces you see around this cathedral are more than symbolic markers. They represent the apostles. It's a quiet but powerful reminder that we are part of that same living church, rooted in apostolic faith, built up by the grace of Christ, and still standing strong today. But the symbolism doesn't end here. We'll explore more in the next station. Now, move to the middle of the church. You will need to cross over the pews and stand in the middle of the nave. You can pause the audio here and press play when you're ready.